boys and girls, it's Mrs. Perrone. Now that you watched the first video, we are going to actually practice simplifying fractions. You may also see the word reducing fractions. Both of these terms mean to make smaller. When you are making it smaller, you're going to use division. So we're going to look at the fraction 9/24. You'll need a piece of paper in order to do this. So I'm going to write 9/24. I want to make this in simplest terms, the smallest it can go. The first thing I need to do is find the factors of my numerator and my denominator. So I'll write a 9 over here and a 24 over here. In order to find the factors, I'm going to rainbow the numbers. So I know 1 times 9, 3 times 3. I'm going to then list my factors, 1, 3, and 9. Going to do the same thing for 24. 1 times 24, 2 times 12, whoops, I didn't make a lot of room, 3 times 8, 4 times 6. So my factors for 24, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 12, and 24. Now I want to find which factor they have in common, and it needs to be the largest. Well, since 9 only has 3 factors, I'm going to look at my 9. I'm going to take my largest factor. Is 9 a factor of 24? No. 3, do they have 3 in common? Yes. This is the largest number they have in common. So now I'm going to divide 3 into my numerator and 3 into my denominator. 9 divided by 3 equals 3. 24 divided by 3 equals 8. So you have 3 eighths. If you look at 3 and 8 to see if it's simplest form, you can rainbow 3 and 8. So 3 is just 1 and 3. 8 is 1 times 8, 2 times 4. The only factor they have in common is 1. If you're to divide 1 divided into 3 and 8 divided into 3, it'll still give you 3 eighths. So that means it is in simplest form. So I'm going to erase this, and I want you to follow along with a piece of paper for you to do one with me. So I want you on your paper to write 2 eighths. And now let's look at how to do 2 eighths in simplest form. So the first thing we need to do is find the greatest common factor. Well, in order to do that, I need to rainbow each of the numbers. Whoops. So I'm going to find the factors. 1 times 2, so that's it. And then 8, 1 times 8, 2 times 4. Well, since 2 only has 2 factors, I know my greatest factor is going to be 2. Once I find my greatest factor, I need to divide it into my numerator and my denominator. 2 divided by 2 equals 1. 8 divided by 2 equals 4. So my answer is 1/4. If I have a 1 in my numerator, I know it cannot go any lower, so I am going to stop there. Well, I want you to look at your paper. There are going to be some that are a little bit more complicated. And this is where your multiplication facts are really going to come in handy. So if I look at 70/80ths, that's going to take me a really long time to do all the factors of 70 and 80. But one thing I can do is I know that it ends in 0. So I know 10 is a factor. If I divide 10 into my numerator and 10 into my denominator, that will give me 7 eighths. I can then look, is 7 and 8, do they have a factor that's in common? No. So I know it's in simplest form. Another thing you can do if it gets really hard, let's look at 24/32s. If you do not use the greatest factor the first time, it's okay. You're just going to have several steps. So when I see two even numbers, I know I can divide 2 into those numbers. So if I divide 2 into 24, that would give me 12. If I divide 2 into 32, that gives me 16. Well, I can also see these are even. If it ends in an even number, that means 2 can divide. So I can divide even more. So I'm going to try 2 another time, which gives me 6 and 8. Well, it's not in simplest form yet. So if I have a 6 and an 8, these are small enough numbers I can rainbow to find the greatest common factor. So I have 6 is 1 times 6. 2 times 3, 8 is 1 times 8, and 2 times 4. The greatest factor they have in common is a 2, so I can divide this into 2 again, and that gives me 3/4, and that is in simplest form. So if you get stuck and it ends in an even number, you can keep dividing by 2 until you get where you cannot divide anymore. And then look, 13. Think about your 7 times tables. So when you have 7 and 56, if you do the rainbow for 7, it's just 1 and 7. So then if you factor 56, think about what your greatest factor is going to be. I'm thinking it's going to be 7. So those are just some helpful hints for when you do your page. If you get stuck, please come back to the video. Have a great day.